Greetings everyone, this is Christopher with One Tech Stop, and today I'm taking a look at the Windows 10 update for desktops and tablets. The first thing you come across after the installation process and setup is the lock screen. Now I installed this on Friday, it's now Monday. Been using it for about 4 days. First impression of the lock screen, everything looks good. You've now got your power option there to sleep, shut down, restart. You have narration options there, which, if I turn it up,
Windows will read and scan this list automatically.
you can hear it. You can hear it starts narrating what's on the screen. A third option is Wi-Fi. You can now access Wi-Fi without actually signing into the tablet. Before I do sign in, actually, there is also this start screen which comes up. Now, on Windows 8 and 8.1, you were able to slide down to access the camera. That has now gone, unfortunately, and the only gesture you can make on that screen is when you can access it. It's just the first thing you'll notice. Difference to Windows 8.1 is that it now slides vertically rather than horizontally. If you've never used Windows 8 before, then you may not even notice this change. This is a lot more similar to the Windows Mobile and Windows Phone approach, and looks a lot more. The difference being that you have a desktop mode in this, or rather you have a tablet mode. Desktop mode is default and will appear like this. As you've probably seen, you do have your start button down there, which when in standard mode will always bring up your start menu. However, if in tablet mode, which you change from the settings, it will either take you back to your last app that you opened. Let's just open something. Okay, and now pressing the start button either there or there will let you switch between apps. I will focus on the tablet mode for a moment. Portrait mode, everything goes that way. You do have a fair bit of space around the side, but this space isn't completely wasted, as you can swipe in from both sides, left and right. Swiping from the left of the display will bring up your multitasking screen, or your open apps. That can also actually be accessed by this button on the bottom. And can you believe there's actually a third way of getting open apps, and that's long pressing the back button, as you would expect on Windows Phone or Windows 10 Mobile. So they've gone from having quite a fiddly process where you had to slide in and slide back out on Windows 8 to bring up multitasking, to giving you now 3 separate ways of accessing it, which I guess is a good thing, but does make you wonder, perhaps there is options for other things. The Charms bar, which was on the left of the screen, is now replaced with your Action Center, and just like on Windows Phone, you can slide these things away. You can expand your quick settings. The options are tablet mode, rotation lock, note, so that will open up OneNote, all settings, connect if you want to connect to another device, battery saver, VPN, Bluetooth, brightness, which rather than having an actual toggle or dial switch, you have to press the button. You've got your Wi-Fi settings, quiet hours, location, and flight mode. The menu on the left of the screen, you've got a couple of options. You've got these hamburger menu at the top left. Opening that brings up your most used apps, along with a few other options. File Explorer. This is only in tablet mode, I must emphasize. And now you'll notice in tablet mode you don't have any of your normal taskbar. That does come back when you change it though. So minimizing that in tablet mode doesn't do anything. You can shut it down now. And then in order to bring it back, use any of the options to bring up your app switching screen. I'm going to go for long, press the back button. Okay, now just looking at File Explorer is one area which I'm not so happy to see changed. You've always had on Windows 8 an option to see your OneDrive folders. Now you still can do that. It seems the only way you can see them is if you sync your entire OneDrive folder here. Otherwise, I'll just go into tablet mode. Right. You can now choose OneDrive folders to sync. If you want to see all of them, you can press sync all, but as you'll see, it tells me I'm missing 52 gigabytes of space in order to sync or even view any of these folders. So switch it off. I'll show you what I mean. I'll bring in Windows Phone 8.1. And also what I was saying about the app switching, that was the only app switching you ever had on 8.1. You had to do that gesture there. So yeah, it's a lot easier. Anyway, we'll go to File Explorer on Windows 8.1. OneDrive folder is there. And as you'll see, it shows me all my available folders. And I don't have any. You do have an option to long press it and make everything, make available offline, make available online only. Unfortunately, that option is missing on the OneDrive section of it. That I can see anyway. Except for long pressing the folder itself. That so far is my major problem with Windows 10, is that there is no obvious way of accessing OneDrive. I mean, I'll bring Windows 10 Mobile into it. Bringing in the insider preview of Windows 10 Mobile, you'll see there is at least a OneDrive app. But we'll take a look in the App Store on Windows 10. I find it easier to use in tablet mode. Okay, we'll go to the store. And we'll search for OneDrive. And do you think any option comes up for a OneDrive app? If you want to view OneDrive on Windows 10 without syncing your entire OneDrive library onto your device, you'll have to go onto onedrive.live.com, which I think is a pain. Well, while we're on here, we may as well look at the App Store. It now holds everything. There's not a separate app for games. Well, there is still an Xbox Live app, but any games, any music, so there's no Xbox Music, Xbox Film and TV. It's all got from the one place. You can go to your own settings and you can view all your previous downloads. This includes Windows Phone apps as well as Windows apps you've installed on Windows 8. Show all, and it will show you every app you've ever downloaded. This takes some time. And this goes right back to apps. It doesn't specify where you installed the app, like which device, but this must go back to apps I put on when I first ever got a device. A lot of them probably still not in operation. Interesting to see though. Yeah, this app will not work on your device. Okay, we'll take a look at Cortana. I do use Cortana a bit on Windows Phone. I'm not sure how much I'll use it on Windows 10. Now, one thing that struck me on, again, going back to Windows 8, was you knew wherever you were, in whatever app you're on, you could always swipe in and just press search. And you could search everywhere. And that is still the case on here, except it's no longer a search bar. It's the Cortana icon. And that threw me a little bit to begin with. It took me a little bit getting used to. If I want to search for something, whatever it is, I'll look for a folder in my OneDrive, for example. Which obviously, because I haven't synced it to the device, it won't let me see. Well, here we are. Other places to look. It is already looking in. It is actually already looking in OneDrive, which is quite good. Maybe I spoke a bit too soon when I complained about the lack of a OneDrive app, but I still would like somewhere to see it. You can use Cortana as a voice assistant. Hi Cortana, what am I doing tomorrow?
I found one event tomorrow at 2 p.m. late 2 to 9.
Okay, and you can also ask it. Play music.
Alright, I could shuffle all day.
And Cortana will start music, I'm guessing. First wants to know where to go from. Groove music. That is the same groove music as found on Windows 10. Let's not get done for a copyright infringement. Hey, yeah, groove music's there. A brilliant thing. I do have an SD card in the device, and it's taking music from that, but it will also take it from OneDrive, which I think is great. You can tell it where to look. Settings. Choose where we look for music. So if you want to add a folder on your device, unfortunately, again, OneDrive's a waste of time because you can't get into it without syncing everything down to your device, unless there's something I'm missing. So that is groove music. You can activate Hey Cortana on this. I've switched it off at the minute just to save a bit of batteries. Okay, that is very easily dealt with. Taking a look at the settings menu, actually, again, it is very similar to what you find on Windows 10 mobile, as they are universal apps, just laid out very slightly different. Oh well, maybe not so different, hey. A black background on the phone, maybe because the theme is black. Right, we'll look into switching on Hey Cortana. Cortana and search settings. Let Cortana respond to Hey Cortana. Respond best to me. Relearn my voice. There is a series of words a series of sentences you can read out to Cortana for her to learn your voice, and then supposedly she only answers to you. You can ask her to find flights and more, and taskbar tidbits. Okay, so if that's set and enabled, Hey Cortana, what time is it?
Here's what I found.
Brilliant. Now, will that work from lock screen? Hey Cortana. Nope, the device has to be unlocked for it to work, which is fair enough. Now, I do wonder, this is a very low spec Windows 10 Windows tablet, and if they can get Hey Cortana working on that, why can't they get it working on lower spec Windows Phone? Maybe that will change with Windows 10. Time will tell. Also get the Edge browser, Microsoft Edge, replacing Internet Explorer, although that is still available on here. You have an option where what happens when you start up the device. You can either go to news stories, which is the sort of thing you'd find in the news and sport apps, weather apps. I'll change settings. Start page, you can open a new tab. It can go to the previous pages you were on, or it can go to a specific one if we wanted to make it Bing or Google. I'm assuming you can change it to. Enter a web address. I personally would never make Google my homepage, but it works for a lot of people. Right, let's see now then what happens. Closing apps is still done by swiping down from the top. There we go, google.com. The last thing I want, so I will change that. I'd be more likely to go with Bing. We will take a look at the web browser, playing YouTube, playing videos. Now, you will notice this taskbar is always apparent. It's always there, except for, should you choose to play a video, we'll just find one of our videos. Hi everyone, this is Chris for One Tech Stop. And as you'll see, the bar is gone. Now if you swipe up, it comes back. Now I would really like to see that everywhere on Windows 10. I'd love to be able to, especially on tablet mode, swipe away this taskbar whenever you don't want it, but unfortunately that is not the case. We'll do a couple of browser benchmarks tests and give you an idea of how it compares, although in real world usage, how much of a difference it makes. 402 out of 555. You're using Edge on Windows 10, correct? And we'll do the Sunspider benchmark test. I may well not make you sit through all this. I could skip to the end. Okay, and here we have the result, 621.1 milliseconds. Does that mean much? Who knows? Because they don't give you anything to compare it with. But if Sunspider means anything to you, then that result will probably mean something to you as well. But on the whole, I found Edge to work as good as any other browser I've used. I've not had any major issues with it yet. Internet Explorer is still there in case you need to access things like Silverlight or Java or whatever else Edge doesn't support. You see it as a desktop app, so the old style Internet Explorer which we had on Windows 8 is no longer with us, which is a bit of a shame, but I guess things change. And Microsoft Edge is a very browser. You do have the option, of course, to draw on the screen. You can highlight stuff, erase stuff. So highlight the mark. And can you write on it? Is that suggesting you can... Who knows? Yeah, you can... crop in. And then you can either save or share with Facebook, Mail, OneNote, etc. Okay, and then to go, okay, if we go to a post, I can show you reading list. Now you'll notice there's no progress bar anymore. All you get is in the top left corner a little spinning thing telling you the web page is loading. And that stops sometimes before the web page actually seems to finish loading, but generally it's fairly quick. Now reading mode. Pressing that button in the address bar. And there you go, it changes everything for you. I don't know where the pictures are though. But this is also another place where you can highlight. And then where to save it to. Now I would like to be able to save that to a picture rather than to either reading list, OneNote or favorites. Maybe you can share it to that. Nope. Share a screenshot. Oh well, maybe one day. Okay, the next thing we'll take a look at is maps. It is very similar to what can be found on Windows 10 Mobile. In fact, it's the same app as we covered in another video once. You still have two-finger panning, rotation. You can change your view to aerial if that takes your fancy. And long pressing somewhere if you're in a area where it has street side images, then you can take a look all around, and that seems to work fairly smoothly. Just double tapping. And coming back up to the maps. What a great way to view a city. And then exit is down there. I would like that exit button to be somewhere a bit more obvious, I think. Right, there is also an option to view 3D cities. It gives you a list of where and what's available. Augsburg, we'll take a look at. There is a fair bit of rendering to be done, but it would probably load a lot quicker on other devices. Okay, that is maps. So I would say on the whole, I am actually very impressed with the Windows 10 update. There are a few issues I'm having. A couple of things I missed from Windows 8. Mainly just getting around. I suppose it's what you call muscle memory, isn't it? Once I get used to not bringing up the charms bar anymore, which I never used to use a huge amount in Windows 8, but it was always nice to have it there. Once you know it's gone. Swiping in there still does the same thing when you've got some open ups, of course. MyTube is now a universal app for Windows 10, and it really does look nice. It looks just as nice on Windows 10 as it did on Windows Phone, which is a great thing. You can, of course, still drag things one side or the other. And share two apps at once. I'm not sure if there's an option for a third one. I know no, it's only two on these probably slightly lower powered devices. One other slight difference on Windows 10 to Windows 8.1 is you now have a lot of options down this side, whereas like I said once before, all you have was that and that. Now you've got this. Again, before Windows 8, you had a search button there, which is on screen on 10. It's just in a different place. And you could lock there. That is still present, but is now found an extra touch to get to that. That has been my early impressions of Windows 10. If you have any comments or questions, I'm always happy to hear them. I hope you enjoyed your video, and thanks for watching. It's quite a long one, so thanks for going through it with me. I'll see you soon. Bye.